Tripp. I'm the head roaster here at Compass Coffee, and I'm gonna answer a question that everyone's been wondering the answer to. How much caffeine is in a shot of espresso? Is it more or less than a cup of drip coffee? Spoiler alert, the answer might shock you. A single shot of espresso is about 1 ounce and contains about 63 milligrams of caffeine. An 8-ounce cup of drip coffee contains about 95 milligrams of caffeine. So this one clearly has more, but this one is a lot more concentrated. It takes 1 ounce of espresso to get 63 milligrams, but it takes 8 ounces of drip coffee to get 95 milligrams. So although this only has 63 milligrams, which is less caffeine than the 8-ounce cup of coffee, no one drinks a single shot. Most lattes or milk coffees that you drink, or order from a Compass Coffee or anywhere, are at least 2 shots, and the standard pour of espresso is a double shot. So although 1 shot is 63 milligrams, most of the time you're drinking 120 or more milligrams of coffee. In a 3-shot latte, that'd be 180 milligrams. So now that we know the caffeine content, what exactly goes into pulling a shot of espresso? Let's break it down. First things first, you need coffee. And to use the coffee, you need to grind the coffee. The grind size of your coffee is one of the most important elements of the brew. When you are brewing espresso, the water and the coffee only have a few seconds to interact. If you compare that to drip coffee, which can take up to 5 minutes to brew, the water and the coffee have a long time to interact. With espresso, the coffee and the water are only interacting for maximum 30 seconds. Because there's only 30 seconds for the coffee and the water to interact, we need the most water to be touching the most coffee in that short amount of time. The finer we grind the coffee, the more surface area of those coffee beans are exposed to the water. So the finer we grind, the more water will touch more coffee. So now the coffee is ground, we need to tamp the coffee. Here at Compass, we have a grinder and a tamper built in one unit, so it's all done in one motion. Tamping is done to take the bed of coffee that we've just ground and give it a flat, even surface so the water interacts evenly with all the coffee grounds. Again, at Compass, it's all done in one unit, but you may see other people, other cafes, or on YouTube and other places use a thing called a tamper, which looks like this. It's just a puck, a little press that you push the coffee grounds down to give them a smooth, even surface. The reason that we can brew espresso in only 30 seconds is because we're adding 9 bars of pressure to that bed of coffee. A bar is a measure of atmospheric pressure, and in the world, we live at 1 bar. So 9 times the force of gravity is being pressed down onto this coffee. So now the pressure's been added, and we're gonna see the coffee come out of the espresso puck. So it usually takes between 4 seconds and 7 seconds from the pressure being added until we actually see brewed coffee leave the portafilter. And when the espresso first comes out of the portafilter, you'll see like a candy cane texture, a very caramelly, creamy, golden color. It's beautiful. That rich golden stream will turn a little bit darker as the shot gets older. From the first 10 seconds and the second 20 seconds, it turns from a golden color to a bit darker of a brown color. The reason the beginning part is that golden color is the first coffee interacting with the first oxygen after it's been brewed. So the coffee beans, or the brewed coffee, is accepting all this new oxygen, creating a thing called crema, which is that creamy layer on the top of the espresso. The quality of the crema is a really good judge of the quality of the beans. If you have beans that are too aged, they've been exposed to oxygen for weeks, old coffee, you'll get almost no crema. Alternatively, if you have coffee that was roasted the same day, you will get too much crema. It'll be too bubbly, too gaseous, and it creates a very bitter, sort of a carbon dioxide taste in the coffee. If coffee's just right, it's between about 2 weeks old and 10 weeks old, that's the time where you should brew it. 2 weeks after the roast to about 10 weeks after the roast. And now that the coffee is brewed, you get to do the fun part, which is tasting it. If you get a nice bold, caramelly finish, it means you did a good job. If the coffee, the espresso is finished. If it's a little sour, a little watery, maybe you need to mess with the amount of coffee beans you're putting into the portafilter, maybe adjust the brew time or the grind size. But keep playing around with those things until you get the perfect shot of espresso. So we say all those things to say that an espresso shot isn't meant to be an overwhelming amount of caffeine. It's concentrated flavor and perfectly balanced coffee experience that you can enjoy in lattes, cappuccinos, cortados, or on its own. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.